This is the Herd Line News.
The thing that drives me the most crazy is if they were anything other than athletes, we would be singing the praises of how intelligent they were. Look at this bright young person who, upon the age of 18, has set themselves up in their future for success, making $1 million right out of high school immediately for their talent, whether it be singing or playing the piano or painting canvases, building houses, whatever it is they did, we would be thrilled at their entrepreneurial spirit. But because they're athletes, it's like, well, they can't handle money. They don't know what they're doing. You got to protect these kids. They're going to spend it all on shiny diamonds. Also, who are you to tell an adult, whether they're 18 or 74, what to do with their money?
Yeah. Very good points.
Maybe they want to go buy Chanel. Good for them. They earned it.
I'd like a handbag, to be honest with you.
Chanel bag?
Never had one. Chanel bag. I'd like one.
They're very nice. Well, the Dolphins made a lot of moves to improve this offseason. They brought in a new offensive coach, revamped their offense, obviously Tyreek Hill being the key piece of that. And GM Chris Greer said even the players on the defensive side of the ball can see a difference.
I think the whole offensive side of the ball, I mean, it's been fun watching these guys, how they bought in, listened to Mike, and believing in watching them practice. And even the defensive guys about a week ago were saying they could not believe the transformation on offense and how these guys are doing. So Tua's confidence, I think, is high. Mike and the relationship and the belief in him. So he's very, very excited, and he's had a good offseason so far.
If this was any team other than the Dolphins, I would be very, very, very high on them. But because it's the Dolphins, I remain cautiously.
Now, Joy, I will say this. Let me defend the Dolphins. They're rarely a tire fire. They're always kind of around 500. And it feels like in the last 10 years. Now, I don't love the culture, but they're very rarely are the Dolphins. They've always given the Patriots trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, they win games. They're just
no, it's not. They're not Cleveland's.
No, God, or Detroit, or Washington. They're always kind of viable.
Yeah.
I remember a couple years ago at home when the Steelers went down there and they were all barfing, and Miami
listen, South Beach Flu is undefeated.
Undefeated.
It's a great place to be playing at home. There's a notable advantage to playing in Miami.
I have seen them beat Super Bowl champs. I saw them beat the Rams a couple years ago, the Patriots, 100%. The Steelers.
It's not that I think that they are a dumpster fire.
They're
it's
not.
Just that the expectations
are ridiculous.
Totally.
That's the fans down there are zany.
And there always seems to be a way that the bag gets fumbled. And but on paper, they are doing the right things.
Oh, God, offensively, they've got tremendous personnel.
Teddy Bridgewater, Tyreek Hill, Cedric Wilson, Trent Sherfield, Chase Edmonds, Sony Michel, Raheem Mostert, Alec Ingold, Teron Armstead, Connor Williams.
Teron Armstead.
Mike Gesicki is coming back.
Top 5 left tackle in football. Gesicki's great.
I love all of the moves. All I'm saying is, me personally, I'm not putting any expectations in the situation. I just want to sit back and watch and see how it all plays out. That's all I'm saying. I could get excited about all this, and I think Dolphins fans should, because this on paper has been a great offseason for the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Now, how the division's going to play out, I think I agree with you. I think it's the Bills obviously are still the top dog. I do think the Dolphins have passed the Patriots because their offseason was nonsense. And I don't know. I have no expectations of the Jets.
The Cowboys and the Patriots today are significantly less dynamic than they were a year ago.
Yes.
That's not arguable. Miami is significantly more dynamic than a year ago.
I give the Patriots respect because of Bill Belichick.
Other than that, I don't like the personnel.
I don't know what's going on there. Russell Wilson could be joining some very exclusive company this season. There's only 2 teams he has not beaten during his career. The Chargers and obviously the Seahawks. So he'll get to face both in 2022. If he gets those wins, he'll be just the 5th quarterback in NFL history to beat every team in the league. He would also be the youngest quarterback to beat all 32 teams. They play the Seahawks to the Broncos in Week 1 in the Petty Super Bowl. And obviously the Chargers in Week 6 and Week 18. So this is entirely possible. I do think that the Broncos will win Week 1 against Seattle. I do think it's smart that the league put that as Week 1, because if they had played later in the season when the Seahawks were I predict will not be playing very well. It won't be as exciting. So at least it's week one.
I'm so excited. Russell plays the Chargers here at SoFi. I think I'm going to go to that game. I'm going to get a field pass and just wave.
You should.
To him.
You're basically a part of the Chargers personnel, and you love Russell Wilson.
And Ciara loves me as well. Not that way, but maybe. And then I'll just wave.
Ciara's on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Who is?
Ciara.
This week.
Oh, no, like the Sports Illustrated swim issue. She's on the cover. She looks great. I mean, obviously, she's one of the most beautiful people on the planet. Well, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, and Brett Favre are the quarterbacks who have beaten all 32 teams.
Okay.
The Broncos should have Super Bowl expectations this year, but the one hiccup with the Matthew Stafford, Tom Brady plan of winning a Super Bowl in year one is they have a new coach. He's not walking into it. Are you looking up Ciara right now?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, what? Why would I expect anything else? Yeah, she looks amazing. She looks great.
Anyway, back to journalism.
Yeah. I mean, that is journalism. So Tom Brady has stayed busy this offseason after retiring and unretiring just 6 weeks later and then announcing that he will be joining us as our co-worker here at Fox eventually on his actual retirement.
Chairs are open.
Right here. Netflix announced that Brady is set to feature in and executive produce the first of the greatest roasts of all time. It's a series, and it's set to tape in 2023. And he's doing a lot of media stuff now. He also has he's going to star and produce in the feature film 80 for Brady, Jane Fonda, Lily Tomlin, Sally Field, and Rita Moreno.
Rita Moreno looks great.
Yes, I knew you were going to say that.
Helen Mirren and Rita Moreno. Nobody's aged better in America than those two.
You know who else is on the cover of Sports Illustrated Swim is Elon Musk's mom, May Musk, who is 74 years old. She looks incredible.
May Musk?
Yes.
It sounds like a perfume. May Musk? Hold on.
This roast thing is interesting. Tom Brady obviously has come out of his Patriots shell a lot since he's gone to
she's what a
Buccaneers.
Beautiful lady she is.
Well, she's been a model for like 50 years, so.
Wow.
Yes.
Boy, she is striking. All right. Where were we at in the show?
Not helping. Well, it's not helping the TV audience either. We didn't have the pictures ready. But
Sorry.
Would you ever do a roast?
No. You listen, Jeffrey Ross is really funny. He's the funniest guy ever. We have Jeffrey Ross, Bill Burr. There's a handful of comedians that are very funny. And I would be totally uncomfortable telling the jokes or receiving them.
I did a roast once. Not of me. That I will never do.
Yeah. It's just, I don't like, I told you I can't watch Jeopardy because I feel bad for the contestants that are losing.
But roasts rarely get awkward, though.
Yeah.
Like, generally the person who's being roasted knows what they signed up for.
Kind of, yeah.
Well, I remember Brady.
All right. Joy with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping.
So college basketball and football players, all these programs for years and years have figured out ways to get kids money. In the South, they pay kids through the church. I had somebody years ago telling me you'd send a kid to a restaurant, you'd valet his car, and when the kid came back into the car, there'd be $1,000 in the glove compartment, right? Like, there's just ways to make this stuff work. You give kids jobs, they don't really work, and they end up with money. What's happening now is the dynamic has changed, which is college football coaches are the most powerful coaches in America. Because NFL coaches have owners and NBA coaches have owners and baseball managers have owners and college basketball is not as popular. The most powerful coaches in America are college football coaches at football powers. And they are the highest paid state employees and they always get their way. And now they're not always getting their way. The players have power. The players can transfer. The players get paid. And it's a little unwieldy right now. I think most people would agree it's a little bit of a mess. What this is really about for Nick Saban, this is about the power dynamic has changed. And the players have a lot more power than the coaches, and they don't like it. And I hear all this moralistic stuff like, this is not good for the players. Well, Nick Saban will recruit 3 running backs a year. That's like 9 on the roster at any given time to play. Those other kids would have been much better off going to an Auburn or Mississippi State where they could actually get carries and showcase their skills. So all these programs basically over-recruit all these positions because 25 scholarships a year, frankly, is too many in my opinion. So you end up recruiting 5 receivers. I mean, USC wants this Jordan Addison. They already got 12 receivers on the team. So the minute you bring him in, that means the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th receiver, they're not going to get any looks. They're not going to get any catches. They're better off transferring. So I don't want to hear all the morals and all this stuff is fear-mongering. The power dynamic has changed. People that have been successful grumble on the internet all day when the world is changing. I'm not a Bitcoin investor. I call it Bitcon. I don't buy it. I don't invest in it. But people have a right to do it. And a lot of people on Wall Street are freaking out. The bottom line, it tanked. A lot of people got in trouble. There's an argument to be made. Bitcoin was popular because we were all stuck inside for a year and a half. The government was handing out money, and you couldn't spend it on a lot because a lot of businesses weren't open. So people went to the internet all day long and got into NFTs and Bitcoin, Bitcon, and a lot of them have gone sideways or belly up. But in the end, a lot of the talk about Bitcoin is fear-based. It's not stocks, it's not equities, and a lot of old people freak out. If you want to invest your money in unregulated currency, be my guest. I'm never going to do it, but be my guest. I don't care. I don't take shots at it until this moment. Do what you want to do with it. But this is all fear-based and power dynamic stuff. College football is fine. It's not going to die. It's okay.